All right, everybody. We are at episode number 9 for my podcast, Your Life Cheerleader. I like to do a little pre-roll before I even get started with recording. Sometimes it's kind of fun to see some of the little outtakes or whatever crazy stuff might happen. And plus, this is the time where I get a chance to talk with you. I'm trying to clear my screen here. Boop. We are at episode number 9, you guys. Give me a high five. Ooh, I got the big puffy hair coming. Yeah, not puffy, not P. Diddy, but this is the puffy hair. Those grays are graying, baby. All right, here we go. Let me go ahead and hit record. Hi, and welcome to Your Life Cheerleader. I am your host, Sky, and I love doing this podcast because I love to give you fuel for your journey every single step of the way. This is episode 9. Wow. I cannot believe I've already recorded 9 of these. Thank you so much for definitely tuning in and supporting me. I never thought that I would make it to episode 9, and here we are. Woo! So today I'm going to talk about hardships, right? Hardships are preparation, not punishment, right? So it's all in the way that we look at everything in life. And so when we look at our hardships, because they're going to come, their hard times will always come. But how are we looking at them? So look at them as preparation, okay? These will not be looked at as punishment, because when we do, then sometimes it's a woe is me mentality, and that's not what we are all about, okay? So let's take this deep dive and reframe the way that we look at hardships. We're going to look at them as growth and shaping us. These are lessons for us to learn and to live by. All right, so we're going to put that in our life lessons book bag. That's the only kind of bag that's good to carry, okay? We're not carrying any other type of baggage with us, but only the lessons that we've learned, okay? And remember, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So tuck that away in your brain as well. Now, at some point in time, because we are humans, we are going to experience some type of hardship, hard times. They're going to come. Now, they could be related to relationships or career or financial hardships. And as we get older, they're definitely different from the hardships that we've experienced when we were kids. We may have been going through high school and, oh man, we didn't make that team. So what did we learn from that hard time of us not making that team that we wanted to be on? Well, maybe we learned how to practice better or whatever it is, but we took those lessons and then we applied it to the next year that we tried out, right? And so as we get older, our hardships tend to be a little more complicated. Now, for instance, mine were really life-changing hard times. Now, there was a time where I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to stay. My kiddo was small, and I was recently divorced. So it was this crazy place that I was in, and I could have definitely slipped into a deep depression, because it's like, who wants to be having hard times like that, right? Of course, it's not like, oh, me, let me have that. Sign me up for that, baby. No, of course not. But it was such a pivotal moment in my life. I learned how to not necessarily depend on my friends, but ask them for any suggestions or thoughts that they might have, that maybe at that time I couldn't think straight. So they were helping me to think straight. I also, learned how to look at relationships that I'm in differently and not deposit so much of myself into that relationship, because we got to save some of those things that we're depositing for ourselves. Because if we just keep giving and giving, And then we have nothing at the end of the day, because that's what was going on in that particular relationship that I was in. And it wasn't that person's fault. That was my fault, because I didn't make that connection. Oh, the more that I give to somebody, the less that I have for myself. So that was a lesson that I learned. And I just learned how to pivot in life and how to reinvent myself. Because sometimes that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and jump back into this career that I actually used to love. And so that's what I did. Jump back into my radio career. So that was a lesson that I put in my little life lesson book bag, that, you know what? It's all about my happiness first. So, and it's going to be the same with you too. Look at the hardship. What lessons are you able to take? Because it's important that as we go through these hard times, these hardships, that we do not let the lessons just go to waste. Because if we do, what if we have to return back to that same type of hardship that we had? And then we're going to go through this same circle. It's going to be this crazy cycle. And that's almost called insanity, right? When we keep going through the same thing, thinking we're going to get a different result, because we didn't learn from that hardship, that hard time, the first time we went through it, right? Because sometimes that's how God works. He's going to be like, oh, honey, you didn't learn the first time? Ooh, I'm about to send you through that hard time again, honey. You better learn. So, let's learn from these hard times and do not let that go to waste, okay? Because remember, it's not punishment. It is not punishment. Look at it as your life classroom, all right? So I want you to go ahead, reflect back on your life and say, everything that I've been through made me a stronger person. Because it is true. You are a stronger person as long as you learned from your lesson, right? Because you're not the same person. You're like, oh, when I do this, this is the result that I'm going to get. So let me not do that thing again, because I'm not trying to go back down memory lane. You heard me? All right. So just know that we're going to have plenty of hard times ahead. Now, and they may all look different. So hardships, they're not going to end. They'll probably only end whenever we're 6 feet under, and we don't want that. So even if we got to go through those hard times, we're going to learn from them. Okay. We're going to put them in our life lesson book bag that we might need to pull out, some of those lessons every once in a while, right? So, and just look at it. It was preparing you, not punishment, right? So that's what I have for you guys this go around. And I truly hope that you've been encouraged. If you know someone who might need to hear this message, please, by all means, go ahead and share this message with them. I try to keep these messages really short, just in and out. We're going to get to the point. And really the point is for me to be able to encourage you, because I am your life cheerleader. Oh man, really, I hope you guys really do learn something. I'm just taking things that I've learned along my life and passing them on to you, because I really, truly, firmly believe that's our job as humans to help somebody else. Because if we don't help anybody, what are we here for? If I'm not helping you solve a problem, why am I here? So, your life cheerleader, it's your girl, Sky. And I definitely appreciate you. All right?